So someone raised in a Christian environment and goes off and marries an unbeliever. 2 Corinthians 6, 14, 18 says you don't do that. And even with widows, when their husband died, they're only to marry someone in the Lord who believes in Jesus Christ. Okay? When they marry an unbeliever, is their marriage valid? Or is it considered sexual immorality because they knew better, and yet they went ahead and married an unbeliever, knowing that this person isn't of the household of faith, he's not a Christian, he worships a different God, or has a different view of Jesus, and then you go ahead and marry him or her, will your marriage now be considered sexual immorality? And then what do you do with those churches that will then take a man who professes to be a Christian, right? Sorry, guys. Take a man, professes Christian, and he'll marry a Muslim, or a Muslim man marrying a Christian woman, and then they have a ceremony in the church, and you have a priest or a pastor officiating. You see how complex the issue is? Do you see how complex the issue is? In other words, I'm trying to tell you, a surface, shallow reading of 1 Corinthians 7, 12 to 16, easy, well, unbelievers. But hold on. That's applying to pagans who were not exposed to a Christian worldview or Christian influence. When our Lord Jesus spoke to the covenant community, he did not differentiate between Jews who knew the law and Jews who didn't. He held them all to the same standard, because once you're part of the covenant community, you're under the influence of the covenant community and exposed to the Torah, you're without excuse. You see my point? So how do we answer that? I don't know. That's why I'm not a bishop. I'm not a priest. You got to go to your church, but you got to be careful what church you go to. You can't just go to any church, because you have a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing and bishops and priests who are not qualified to lead because they don't know their faith. You got to make sure you're going to a church where the leadership know the Bible, know their faith, know the ancient tradition, and are filled with the Spirit and walking worthy of the Lord.